Welcome back to Taco's Truck Week 9 edition. We got here host David Molly, host Joe Stevenson, and basically host.
Fuck yeah, he's a host too.
Basically host Marshall Nicolay, our favorite guest. Well, actually, they've all been really good, but anyway, we'll start into some league news. I just want to, off the bat, remind everyone that the trade deadline for our league is November 27th. It's like 2 a.m. or something like that. So just be aware of that. Joe, you said you had something?
Yep, just a couple things real quick. NFL-wise, I only got one. I'm sure you guys all saw, but AB has been activated this week. So I think Clint's got him on his squad. Hopefully you play him all year because he's going to suck. Our league-wise, still streaking. Marshall's up to a 5-game win streak, and Tom and Brandon are on that 4-game lose streak. So big streak still happening in our league. We also have Mark to the 2-time club, not the 2-time champion club. I'm the only one in that. Mark is in the 2-time 70-point club.
Humble brag.
He outdid himself. First time was 3 weeks ago at 79.8. Then he goes 2 weeks and hits a 79.7. So keep doing your thing, Mark. And awesome. Welcome to that club. Matt pops a 70-pointer this week, which now gives us, I believe it's Brandon, Sean, 2-time Mark, and Matt, all in the 70-point club. And we kept the streak going with zeros. Kilo had Galladay get a 0, and Marshall had the Bears get 0. So still rolling, fellas. Oh, and one more quick one, just an interesting fact, I guess. I look back. We had 1 week, it was week 3, where every team scored over 100 points. Otherwise, we've had a busted-ass team every
Last week was pretty rough.
Yeah.
This week, I think, is also going to be pretty rough. Buys and injuries. But in my opinion, that's to be expected. You start out super high, plateaued, and then you drop off because of injuries and stuff like that. You look at my bench, half of them are out, half of them are on bye.
Me too, dog. Out and IR.
Yeah, yours is the same. All right, just a couple little things here. It looks like the NFL is going to uphold the 2-game suspension for Javon Wims. There were 49ers closed down facility for a day due to a positive COVID test. They play Thursday against the Packers. As of today, the Packers and the Cardinals have received no more positive COVID tests. And as far as COVID, I believe that's it. The game for Thursday is still on. Nothing's going to change as far as that, from my understanding. So we'll move into the guest segment. Nothing fancy, no fancy name for this one this week. We're just doing currently our league playoff predictions. Who do you think is going to be in? And obviously, who do you think is going to be out?
Guess, do you want to take this one first, or?
Yeah, that's fine. I can go. We'll just start with my division because, of course, it's the best division,
the better division.
Clearly, way more wins, best division. Obviously, I'm gonna take myself. Top 3, right? Top 3 are in.
Yes, sir.
Division, right? So, right now, I'm currently third
taking
place.
Myself, obviously. Yeah. That's what he starts off. I love it.
Just gonna throw that out there. I'm tied with Anabot Cheat Code 5-3, and TaylorMade Dick for You is 6-2. And honestly, if you look at the top three in each division, they're one game out, and you got 2 ties. So super close. But I think, in my opinion, they're gonna stay where they're at. Swear at me, I love you, but I think you're just gonna stay in 4th place, bro. Me personally, I could jump up, could jump down. It's a huge win streak. I don't think I'm going to uphold it, but I did look at a couple of my matchups in the next upcoming, weeks. But anyway, as far as pocket dogs, uncircumcised Chubb, Earl Thomas, and Kilos Gary, bro. You guys can't manage. You can't waiver wire. You can't fucking start nothing, man. No Fier, I think, has had some bad breaks. I like his team, and he's only 4-4. I think he's going to win out a couple.
Mhm.
And so what I'm looking at right now, the top 3 in each division are going to make the playoffs. That's my guess.
Okay. So I'm going to go on the risky side here, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to take 2 5-3 teams. Maybe, well, fuck it. We're going risky. We're taking 2 5-3 teams, and I'm dumping them out of the playoffs. I'm taking Dagger time. Sorry, Kilo, you're going to drop. Bold prediction. I'm taking Matt. Bold prediction. You're both dropping. I've got Dave sliding in with the play quarterback by week. The matchup thing's probably going to work out pretty well for him. And I've got, again, I do agree. I think JR's taking some bad beats. I got JR going up, probably above me. We'll see. And I actually have Johnny O. He's on a roll. He's been popping 2 wins, lose 1, 2 wins, lose 1. He's going to sneak into the playoffs. So I've got me, JR, and Johnny. I've got Clint, Marshall, and Dave.
All right.
For me, just looking at the way the teams are constructed, I agree with both of you two to a point. I do think that in Pocket Dogs, it's going to stay as is, jumbled every which way. I do think that Dagger Time will probably be third, with the potential of Chubb being in there.
Yep. I got him tied record, but yeah.
The only thing I will say with that is I believe Dagger Time has already beat Chubb, and also he has used a lot of his acquisitions. So unless he can figure something out in I think he has 3 moves left for the rest of the year, unless he can figure out how to solidify his team for the rest of the season, I think he will just miss it. On my side, I felt pretty confident in Matt falling out and me falling in. And the only reason is if you look at his team, at the beginning of the season, I thought it was pretty solid, but he has you can't trust Malcolm Brown. He has Jamal Williams, obviously, because Jones is hurt, but Jones has been dealing with injuries this year. You don't really know what you can rely on with that. Stephon Diggs is obviously good, but Brandon Cooks is a complete fucking hit or miss.
AJ Green as well.
Amari Cooper, you can't trust that offense. AJ Green, you couldn't really trust him all year. Austin Eckler's hurt. Deebo Samuel, he's now has a backup quarterback. TJ Hawkinson, that offense hasn't been doing well. Devontae Freeman, that offense has not been doing well either. I mean, if you look at his team in general, I think he falls out 100%.
I think Matt started off with a really, really
solid team. Started out with a bang. And don't get me wrong, if he made it, I wouldn't be surprised, just for the pure fact that there's only 6 weeks left, but you also have to remember he's only 1 game out. So
how many acquisitions do we get? 30, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm at 25, and I know that, but
right. So
my team is, I have 1 more move to make for the rest of the year. I actually only had 1 more move. I only had 1 more move last week, and then I had Gaskin go out, which fucked me. And I made 1 move just pure off of, I made a tight end move just because I didn't want to keep relying on Gaskin. He's fucked me. Honestly, probably snap off, but after watching Tua, I wasn't super impressed. So
Gesicki? Yeah, I saw that.
So I wasn't super impressed, and Trey Burton's been getting a lot of targets. So I made that move. I thought I had to make that move. Basically, I was losing points at that position, but I'm not gaining a lot. But I did have to burn one of my acquisitions for that. But anyway, I do agree with the standings that on my division that Joe said, but I also agree with you, Marshall, on the opposite division. I think that it's going to stay the same. So
Yeah, either way you look at it, I mean, they're one game out, right? Number
Yeah,
four
that's
one game out.
I mean,
Yep.
honestly,
And you can look at me too. I just played Baby Chark and we split. So he could go on a run and I could go on a losing streak, and he's only 2 games behind me. And we'd have to go for the tiebreaker. You'd have to go against points and down the line. But
right.
I just the top 4 are super tight in each division.
And quite honestly, not that I think this is gonna happen, but so Sean is only technically 3 games out, 4 games out, maybe. No, 3 games. I'm sorry. Excuse me. 3 games out of making the spot. And also same thing with Brandon. He's only 2 games out. Like I said, now I don't think that's going to happen, but
Right.
No one's really out of it with 6 games left. So I do want to touch on this because we were talking about it before the season, but we haven't really brought it up at all on the homepage, the final standings projection. The biggest trending moves from this beginning of the season to now is Clint was predicted to get last, and now he's predicted to get first. Dagger Time was predicted to get 6th. Now he's 3rd. And Mark was predicted to get where's he at? Sorry. Mark was predicted to get 3rd. Now he's 9th. Joe has moved 3 spots as well. And then I have moved 2 spots down. Those are all down, trending down. So not that obviously means anything, but it is something that we were talking about at the beginning of the season and we are no longer talking about. So, all right, we'll move into buy and sell. Last week we had Lamar Jackson versus Pitt, quarterback 6. We all sold. He did not hit. We had Josh Jacobs at Cleveland, running back 8. Joe was the only one that sold. He hit. Marshall and I obviously bought. And then Calvin Ridley at Carolina, wide receiver 12. He got hurt extremely early in the game, and Marshall was the only one that sold, so he hit. So Joe was 2-1. I was 1-2. Marshall was 2-1. That leaves the overall standings: Joe 7-8, David 10-5, Marshall 2-4, Mark 2-1, Kilo 3-3. For this week, we have Rodgers at San Francisco, quarterback 8. What do you guys got?
I'm buying that. Aaron Rodgers is doing pretty good, besides fumbling late in games. But I am buying. It is Aaron Rodgers. He's got his weapons back. There's Taco Lazard coming back this week, so he's got a full weaponry to go with besides Aaron Jones. But Jamal Williams, well, he might be out too. So for all those purposes, that means there's no running back going on there because A.J. Dillon's got COVID. Williams is hurt. Jones is hurt. They got some dude, I read his name today. I have no fucking idea who he was, but either way, he's coming up. So it's going to be.
Who?
There was a
Tyler Irvin?
No, there was even another one too. Start with a D.
Dexter Williams?
There you
Dexter
go.
Williams.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Practice squad, dog.
Yep. So it's going to be more on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders again this week. So, I mean, I'm buying. 8's not hard to get into when you're a top guy quarterback like that. You can pop a 30, 40 pointer. So I'm buying.
I'm going to sell. I agree with some of the points you're saying, Joe. On the other hand, if you look at some of the games that they've struggled in, when they have been able to stop the run and they kind of put it on Aaron's shoulders, not that he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback or anything like that, but for some reason this year he has struggled in those games. Tampa Bay, for instance. Granted, they got a great defense. I understand that. But so does 49ers. I did some history here, just looking back last year, the regular season game they played.
Jesus, don't do that.
Yeah, not good, bro. He went 20 of 33 for 104 yards and 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
1 touchdown. He's 4-5 against the Niners all time. That obviously doesn't relate to fantasy, but definitely can't get the W's there. And I'm going to sell quarterback 8. I think there's a couple of quarterbacks that are between like 15 and 20 that can have big days. That'll just bump him there. It's not saying he's not going to have a good day, but I have him somewhere around quarterback 10. It's close, but I'm going to sell QB 8.
Right on. I want to do a quick note just for about Aaron Rodgers for Brandon, though. So he did have that fumble at the end of the game that they lost, but if he would not have lost that fumble, he would have basically had 29.9. It would have been a 30-point day. He's only been under 30 twice this year, and it was against Detroit and Tampa Bay. So Aaron Rodgers, I mean, and listen, this is not the same San Fran as it was. It's not at all. Their defense is riddled. They're horrible. Like I said, I'm a buy, but I just wanted to touch on some points. He's been pretty consistent at that 30-point mark all season long.
Yeah. Basically the add-ons that I had for the game, Joe just basically said.
Sorry, bud.
No, you're good. That's less for me to say. I will say, when I first initially did this, I put it as a sold. I was selling. And the reason being was because of no running backs. If you're one-dimensional, it's pretty hard to, surprise a motherfucker because you're doing the same shit. The one thing that swayed me a little bit was exactly what Joe said, that this team is not the same as they were. Personally, I don't know. Some of you guys may know just because, we talk about football a lot, but as a football fan, the San Francisco 49ers are my most hated team. I hate them more than any team in the NFL.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I truly do. And if a lot of you don't know, I used to live right outside of San Francisco. My mom still lives, 20 minutes out of San Francisco. I lived in that area in the 90s when the 49ers were good. And I hate fucking listening to them. They're fans. Sorry, Tom. So
like the DeWitt of the NFL, aren't they? Like the pinkies up. They're like the pinkies up crew.
Yeah. It's and back in the day, not to sway off of things, but the thing I always hated was the way that 49er fans treated Raider fans. It was exactly what Joe said, like I'm so much better than you. And I don't know. It was just really annoying having to deal with that on a daily basis. So the last few years, like Marshall alluded to, has been pretty rough for me in its entirety. But I do think this game is different. Now, the 49ers are playing with a backup quarterback. A lot of people say that Nick Mullins is better than Garoppolo. I don't really know if that's true, but we'll see what happens. But I do think it'll be on the edge. I don't think he's going to be a top 4, top 5. I do think if he gets in, it'll be very close to quarterback 8, but I did buy. Moving on. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Real quick. I just want to touch quarterback 8, right?
Yes, sir.
I just want to touch. Remember I said I think there's going to be some quarterbacks that are going to hop into that top 10 here and that are currently projected out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just give you 4 right now that I think are going to have big days. Big Ben against Dallas, Stafford against Minnesota, Cam against the Jets, and Derek Carr against the Chargers. So there's 4 right there that are, not your normal top 10 that I think are going to have big days. And then you got your Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen against Seattle, Deshaun Watson's coming back. So that was my reasoning, right?
Yeah,
Plus,
I disagree with 3 of your 4, quite honestly, but that's why we have you on here, so we can talk about our opinions.
You didn't mention Nick Foles.
Dude,
never mind. Moving on.
The offense, he's a quarterback.
Well, you also named 2 running backs. You said Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton. But anyway, moving on. The next one is Chase Edmonds versus Miami, running back 7.
So I'm a sell on Chase Edmonds. And I know he had a nice week last week, and he's also had a nice week. Let me go look at his numbers. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he's been kind of that secret guy behind Drake when Drake's like struggling. Evans is doing good. He's been pretty decent this year, but not Not that high in my opinion. I know he's going to get the start this week, but I don't see this one happening, boys. I think if you look at last week, so Chase Edmonds, he rushed for 50. I have his numbers written down here somewhere. Anyway, it was 58 yards last week. Up until that point, he had not rushed for more than 36. Everything was 23, 26, 4, 13, 16. And reception wise, I know he had 7 for 87 last week, but out of the 7 games he's played, 4 of them were 3 catches and under, and then 2 of them were 5, 5, and 7. So if he's not catching out of the backfield, which once you kind of become the primary running back, you are now no longer the receiving back. I don't see it happening this week for Chase Edmonds. I think that's too high. I got him around like 12.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on this. I'm selling as well. Basically the same points that you hit on. The only thing, I just think 7's too high, right? I think there's other running backs that you could say that could easily squeak in there. But, I mean, I think he could have a big game. You said that because when you take on that rushing role, you know, your passes get, or your receptions or targets come down. But I don't think that'll be the case there. Obviously they like him catching the ball in the backfield. Just because he's going to get rushes doesn't mean he can't do that either. And then who's behind him? I mean, who's the ball catcher behind him? I
don't remember. Yeah, I'll look it up.
I mean, they can use him both ways. I think it'll be close, but I think running back 7's a little too high. I agree, maybe 12, 11, or 10. And for me, only solely on receptions. I think they utilize him in the pass game. That's where he's going to get his points. But yeah, I'm a sell.
Says that any reps that remain will be taken by 7th rounder Eno Benjamin and maybe an undrafted rookie Jonathan Ward.
Right. Yeah. So I was gonna say I couldn't remember his name. I knew it was really weird. The one thing I will say is one of the podcasts that I listen to, the guys are from Arizona. They're all Cardinals fans. So, every once in a while they touch on the Cardinals. And the one thing that they have always said, but even more emphasized now with the Kenyon Drake thing, is that team will always use 2 running backs. They don't care about who the fuck it is. And they're pretty high on Enu in training camp and whatnot. So just because Drake is out, I don't think Edmonds is going to get increased usage. And if that is the case, he's 100% a sell. He is a sell for me. But if that's the case, I don't even think he hits 12. But he is just he's basically a great value David Johnson to me. And I mean, that's not anything to be super excited about. So he's a sell for me. Moving on, Marvin Jones.
That's the Walmart great value, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just to clarify.
Clinton, Iowa.
Good value. Yeah.
Clinton, Iowa, Walmart.
Clinton,
right?
Iowa, Walmart. Dang.
Yeah. Moving on, Marvin Jones Jr. at Minnesota, wide receiver 16.
Yep. So I'm selling. I know that Kenny Galladay is going to be out, and for me, it doesn't matter. Kenny Galladay went out early in that game, and I know Marvin Jones Jr. had big fantasy points, but he had 3 catches for 39 yards and just 2 touchdowns out of those 3 catches. So if it's not the right place, right time for him, it's just not happening. Like I said, they're using other weapons in that offense now. It's not the same old offense it was. I'm not buying this one. I know he might have a good game and he might be there, but for me, I think it's too high. I'm going to sell. He's not Devontae Adams against Minnesota. So I know Minnesota's defense is struggling, but it's still, it's on a struggling offense with a struggling team. It's not the same as last week.
I'm going to buy this one. Wide receiver 16. I think he could get there with some help. Obviously, what you mentioned, Galladay is going to be out. And I think Dalvin Cook is going to tear up the Lions just like they did Green Bay. Maybe not a 40-point or 48-point day, but still they're going to put some points on the board. And I also seen that Minnesota lost another defensive back. So with all those coming together, if you also look at the targets that Marvin Jones is getting, his receptions aren't there, but from having to play from behind, Galladay out, I think he's going to get an increased target and hopefully increase in receptions. I think he's going to hit wide receiver 16. I don't know what the data is, what normally a wide receiver 16 would score points wise, but
16 points, 17 points, maybe.
Is
Somewhere
it
around
Yeah,
there.
it's
17?
around there.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening for Marvin Jones.
Yeah, he can easily pop a 30-pointer. I mean,
Yeah,
Minnesota's playing. I think they had 2 rookie cornerbacks this whole year on their roster, and then if one's hurt, it's going to be just another shitbag.
Yeah, but
I
if you know anything about Marvin Jones, it doesn't matter. That has always been the case with him. He's always good for a game every year with 2 touchdowns. And if you follow history, and I think he already blew his load last week personally, but
blew his low, baby.
Yeah, so
Marshall's buying. I like it. All right.
For me, it's a sell. He does have a super advantageous matchup, like Marshall alluded to. The one thing I will say is basically what Joe said last week. He was a beneficiary of having 2 touchdowns, and that offense has been struggling to say the least. So, and in a divisional game, you know how your divisional games always are. It's going to be super nitty and gritty. So he's a clear sell for me. So
and then plus, just a little side note, I think beware of Minnesota. I think they're going to go on a little bit of a run here, boys. I really do.
I also think so too.
Yep, they got the talent, at least on the offensive side, to do it, and they still got some badass defenders, riddled out throughout that defense.
Yeah, and defensively, they played really well against Green Bay, and I think that offensively, Green Bay is a better team than the Lions. So we'll see what happens. So that concludes buy and sell. Moving into interesting facts. I'm gonna say my interesting facts before Joe says his. I only have 2. Despite being the 6th highest scoring fantasy quarterback of all time, Phillip Rivers has never scored over 30 points in a game. That's via standard ESPN points. He's never had a 30-point game as a quarterback.
Wow.
And then my next one is Cam Newton has not thrown a single touchdown pass to a wide receiver or tight end this year.
Brutal, boy. He sucks. All right, Marsh, you got any interesting facts, bro?
I got 0, bud.
All right, man. So I got some, again, but we'll go quick here. So the Patriots have lost 4 in a row for the first time since 2002. That is the only time they failed to make the playoffs when Brady was their primary quarterback. Obviously, he's not there this year, but still, it's a hell of a streak. New England's 15 turnovers in 2020 has already matched their total for last year. So thanks, Cam. The Bills are now 6-2, and they draw closer to their first division title since 1995. Pretty impressive. There were 7 touchdowns scored in the Vikings-Packers game. All 4 of Minnesota's by Cook, and all 3 of Green Bay's were by Devontae Adams. So for you guys that had those guys, you had a nice week. In fact, Cook scored on each of the Vikings' first 4 drives. It is the first time a player had done that in league history. He was 4 for 4. So Drew Brees threw a pair of touchdown passes on Sunday, which established him as the NFL's all-time touchdown passing leader. And then Monday night, Tom Brady threw 2 touchdowns and then passed him back by 1. So it's going to be all year long. You keep seeing the ticker. I was talking to Dave about this the other day. I saw this breaking news ticker on the bottom of the screen. I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?" And it says like, "Oh, Brees patch. Are you kidding me? We're going to see this every week as breaking news." But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to number 8 here. So still trying to decide. Let's see, the octopus. You guys heard of the octopus yet? They got a term for the NFL. It's called the octopus. I didn't know this.
No, I did not know this.
So Colts Jordan Wilkins, he posted an octopus. He got a 1-yard touchdown run, and then he capped it with his own 2-point conversion for the Ocho. So they're calling it the octopus.
Oh, nice.
Yep, new term. So, and actually Wilkins had a hell of a game too. So the Colts, they started off pretty good, not offensively, but defensively, and they were kind of a nice little team to start the year, and everyone's kind of forgotten about them. They have quietly pulled even with the Titans, who have now lost 2 in a row. So they're tied for the lead in the AFC South. Steelers are 7-0 for the first time since 78. It is matching the best start in franchise history. I think they're the last undefeated team in the league right now. Let's see. Lamar Jackson turned the ball over a career worst 4 times last weekend against the Steelers D. And he also threw his very first pick 6. So rough week for Lamar. And Ravens failed to score. This is pretty good. The Ravens failed to score in the third quarter. This is the first time that they've been shut out in any quarter this whole season. Their 28 consecutive quarters with points since the start of the year was a new league record. So pretty impressive there for the Ravens. Pittsburgh sacked Jackson 4 times. They've had at least one quarterback sack in 64 straight games. So that is 5 games short of Tampa Bay's all-time record of 69, which was established back in 2003. The reason why I'm telling you this is there's a common variable in this whole thing, and it's Mike Tomlin, who was an assistant with the Bucs back then, and he is obviously the head coach of the Steelers, and they have racked up 30 sacks so far this year in the NFL.
Crazy.
Blitzing like crazy, bro. Let's see. Oh, and Mike Tomlin. He just got his 140th regular season win. It moved him past Tony Dungy for he's now the most winningest black head coach of all time. So congrats to
African American.
Yep. African American here. Sorry. It says black here. So, but whatever.
Black.
Yeah, politically correct. But that's pretty cool.
That was wrote by a Republican news report.
Yeah, you're probably right. Russell Wilson had no healthy running backs. Didn't matter. He still cooked 4 touchdown passes. He now has league best 26 touchdown passes, which is 1 shy of Tom Brady's all-time record through 7 games. So congrats to Russell Wilson. Nice little bounce back after throwing, I think it was 3 picks the week before.
BP.
Bengals upset Tennessee, which means the Bengals have now matched their win total from last year. They have 2 wins. So congrats there. Things are going the right direction. The Browns are currently the number 7 seed in the AFC, even though they are 5-3. They are only half a game ahead of the Raiders and the Dolphins. So those 2 teams are lurking. Kind of surprised there, the Dolphins, and they even after a quarterback change. We'll get to those guys in a minute. Cleveland and their 3 losses have averaged 6.3 points. That's why they're losing. Myles Garrett suffered a knee injury in the second quarter. He was held without a sack for the first time since week 1. We were just talking last week about his sack total, and he was on pace for the record or real close. So we'll see if he stays out or comes back this week. Patrick Mahomes scorched the Jets for 5 touchdown passes. Thanks, Patty. Interesting fact here is the Jets have only had 4 touchdown passes the whole year. So Patty Mahomes squashed their whole season in 1 game. Miami, Jakeem Grant returned a punt for 88 yards for a touchdown. This is the first touchdown punt return all year for anybody in the NFL. So that's pretty good. And Tua, this one here blew my mind. Tua is the first left-handed quarterback to start a game in the NFL since 2015. Kellen Moore was the last left-handed to start a game. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So the Fins are
a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, the Fins are 4-3, right? They just beat the Rams. But I want to just drop some stats here from this game that they dominated, in the score aspect.
Oh yeah.
But the Rams had 31 first downs to the Dolphins 8. They outgained Miami 471 yards to 145. And they possessed the ball for 13 more minutes. But obviously with the pick 6 and the punt return was the difference maker there. But even though Miami is 4-3 and things are rolling, they are probably a false prophet here. They're probably not that good because they were getting shellacked by the Rams. They just couldn't put it in the end zone. And last one is 2 more. Sorry. This one here, win probability strikes again. So the Chargers had a 98.8% chance to win on Sunday, just like we talked last week. Instead, they squandered a 24-3 lead in the third quarter to Denver. They've now become the first. Man, these guys in the Falcons, they are now the first club in league history to lose 3 consecutive games. It had a lead by at least 17 points. Unreal, man. Where's the defense? And then the last one, I wanted to share this last week, and I totally forgot. So I'm going to share it with you now. Just a little touch on Derrick Henry. So somebody posted Derrick Henry's high school numbers. I know this is high school, but I just had to share them. He had 40 straight games over 100 yards. He never ran for under 100 yards. So every game he played, he averaged 250 plus rushing yards per game. He ran for a record 502 yards in one game. His yards per carry as a senior were 9.2. His career rushing yards as a high schooler. Just give me a number. Spit out any number. What do you think a high schooler? And he's a 4-year starter.
His career, his high school? Like 2,200.
12,124.
Ooh.
And 153 touchdowns. That is an Emmitt Smith touchdown career in 4 years of high school. That is a Frank Gore, LaDainian Tomlinson, 12,000 in 4 years of high school. Just some gaudy numbers put up by Derrick Henry in high school. But I just wanted to just drop that in there. It impressed the hell out of me. I know that.
Yeah, I did see that like a few weeks back. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's all I got there for interesting facts, fellas.
All right. Well, let's see where we're at here. We'll move into the week 8 rewind. We'll do this real quick
I gotta set my alarm here.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my screen. All right. Let's start off with the 2-5 Call of Duty versus the 3-4 Swear at Me. Swear at Me wins 114.0 to 104.9. Real quick, the only thing I really have to say is I literally set the best lineup I could, so it's nice to get a win when that happens. And then I see that Sean had the super big brain move and played Richard Rodgers when Dallas Goedert was activated. So That's a fucking come on, man.
Such a disappointment. Oh yeah, I forgot to add Rodgers to the zero club.
Yeah, that is.
Remember, we were talking about that too. I said, "What, Sean? You're an idiot, bro. Come on."
Brilliant. I did forget to say this, but Joe picked Sean, I picked Sean, and Marshall picked David. Marshall hit. You guys got anything else on that?
Yeah, fucking real quick, even though you got the W. Carson Wentz, man. 11.7 against Dallas? Fuck.
Turnover Hawks, baby. They were all over the field.
Did you watch that game? It was brutal in all aspects.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, division game, I get it, but fuck's sakes, bro.
It was bad.
I mean, I think I was just saying this the other day, but like Trayvon Diggs, he's all or nothing. The guy is super physical and he will ball hawk like crazy, or he gets burned over the top. I mean, he's a rookie, so these are the things he's going to do. But I do like the boy, man. He's pretty awesome from Alabama. I'll take him.
Anything else, Joseph?
No, I mean, Eagles hit big for you. Tyreek Hill had a nice game for sure. Gio was a great fill-in for Mixon. And Sean, like I said, man, he fucked up, dude. You got to keep an eye on your lineup, bro. You're a straight day worker, Sean. Straight day worker. Killing me here. Like, look, if you would have played Fant, you got yourself a dub. But bad decisions, bad management. Typical Varner. Congrats, Dave. Moving on.
Thanks. Moving on, we have the 3-4 Eskimo brothers versus the 3-4 uncircumcised Chubb. Uncircumcised Chubb wins 90.9 to 79.7. All three of us picked Mark, so we didn't hit.
God, we're fucking garbage.
Yeah, Mark let me down again. Yeah. Just killing me, bro. Just killing me, Mark.
Speaking of Mark, I do want to express a little bit of disappointment. I feel like that post that I made on Facebook was top tier. It was upper level, and only one fucking person said something about it. God damn it.
I do want to point out Sanderson. Real quick, I said Allen Robinson was going to have a big day. And there he is on your bench, 20.7. But I'm not big brain. I'm not the host. I get it. Just letting you know.
Yeah, this one was I mean, this was literally, no offense, fellas, but I mean, like, it was a snoozer. But look at Johnny O. The guy that led the team in scoring is 14. I mean, but he had 14, 13, 12, 10, 12, 13. I mean,
He did
hey,
enough.
Yeah, right. Good enough, man. I guess it's good enough. I just need to make sure I catch Mark on whatever this odd week is he's got, or even weeks, because 6 he put up a 70, 80 put up a 70. Dude, this is horrible. I think like I got this week, so he's gonna go for like probably like 160 on me, but we'll see.
That's funny. All right. Congrats to Johnny for 3 in a row, by the way.
Yeah.
Moving on. We have the 4-3 Fournettecated versus the 3-4 Baby Shark. The Fournettecated won 133.7 to 125.7. David and Marshall picked Marshall, so we hit. Joe picked Tom.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start on this one. Horseshoe, bro. You horseshoed this one all day. I mean, you got 88.7 points, almost 89 points out of 2 players. Anytime you go out there and your quarterback throws up a 12, unless you're Johnny O, you're losing.
I know.
You know, Devontae Parker, if he didn't have that 3-yard touchdown catch, this guy almost pitches a goose egg. You know, you had some really low points and some really high ones. So tough loss for Tom, but I mean, this is fantasy football, and this is why you get home run hitters on your team, you know. But 88, baby. 88.
And
Yeah.
I also did
Go
say,
ahead.
listen to the podcast. I also did say that Dalvin Cook and DK Metcalf were both gonna get the win for me.
I mean, they're your best players. I hope they do.
But I obviously, they're not going to do that again. Not 2 weeks in a row. But yeah, that definitely saved it. I was way off on my Jared Goff. I was watching that game on fantasy, and all I seen every 3 minutes was interception.
Yeah.
Interception. So I didn't see that coming from Miami's defense. No one can anyone even name a player on Miami's defense?
Jesus.
Can you?
A couple years ago, maybe.
So like, how do you even,
Alonzo?
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, good play. They bought into that system down there in Miami, but yeah, Goff let me down there, but I still got the W.
Yeah,
so.
but even then, like we talked, their defense really, aside from them special teams and the pick 6, their defense really didn't play good.
Yeah,
you give up 31 first downs and 400 and some odd fucking yards is not a great day.
I agree, but they hawked the ball, so
they did. Yep.
So.
And they do play physical on the corner, so it helped them out.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is Tom also played his best lineup possible, so It sucks that you lost, but I mean, you really can't be too pissed about it. If anything, blame Dalvin Cook and DK Metcalf. Moving on, we have 5-2 Dagger Time versus 4-3 Consent Not Required.
That's right, baby.
Consent Not Required wins 123.0 to 116.0. All 3 of us picked Joe, so we hit.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Kenny Galladay's
The only thing I really have, really the only thing I have to say is Dagger Time had he almost kind of had like a not as good but kind of a Marshall day. Had a few upper level players and 2 zeros, and then obviously the Mahomes Kelsey stack is hard to beat. So
listen, Joe, you cannot talk shit about my win and then not say anything.
I didn't even get the chance yet. Yeah, but you're absolutely right, dude.
I mean, like it's the same thing. The only thing is you got 15 out of James Conner, where my double-digit score was my quarterback.
Right. Well, and the other thing is I mean, it's Patty Mahomes against the Jets.
Right.
You know, so I mean, like that was going to be a blow up. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't see yours going that big against like the Packers, even though they're not a great defense. I didn't see Cook going for 4 straight touchdowns, but no, yeah, same thing here, man. There wasn't much I could do. I could have played Sterling Shepard, but he was going against Tampa Bay, and I said that it's pretty tough for a second game back. I would have optimized some points there, but other than that, it was just another one of those days where no targets, 0 targets to fucking Ruggs and Jefferson and Smith. It was a fucking horrible lineup. I gotta get these guys off the IR quick. But maybe we'll see Michael Thomas this week, but I don't think so. So
Small brain lineup there.
oh
bud.
no, I'm set for the playoffs. Look at the fucking bench, bro. My bench is stacked up better than your starting lineup. Are you kidding me?
You're out of your
Jesus
fucking mind. You're
Christ
out of your
Almighty.
mind.
Christ. Moving
All
on.
Before we move on,
Yeah, I do.
to stroke
Stroke it.
myself and stroke Joe. I did say that Dalvin Cook was gonna have a huge
Because you
fucking
hate on
game
your own
against the
defense,
Packers.
bro.
And also Joe said 200 yards, 3 touchdowns at halftime. I think Mahomes had like 203
for sure.
and
It
3
is the Jets,
touchdowns.
bro.
Just
Yeah,
throwing that out there.
That's big brain stuff right there, fellas. Give me 15 minutes. We're right back.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Yeah. Dude, D.
All right, next game is the 2-5 Kilos Gary versus the 3-4 No Fear. No Fear wins 128.0 to 101.7. All three of us picked JR and we hit.
Nice. Sorry, bud. I just walked on you there, but typical here. Look at Brandon's team. He's playing Joshua Kelly, got a 3. Played Aguilar because he felt like we had a big week last week, so he popped on him. The typical rookie mistake. Popped a Goose.
Brandon's
Geez,
not
there's
a rookie.
that's another Goose, man. There's like 4 or 5 Goose eggs this week. Julio still had a nice day just because really went down, and it's Julio, and Ayuk had a nice game. But, and of course, A-Rod went bananas. But on JR side, Russell Wilson, big time. Keenan Allen, big time. Typical out of Evans. Ebron had a nice day. Chiefs D played good. So no surprises here.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Yep. I honestly think No Fear could have won bigger. I mean, so.
Yeah. Yep.
Moving on to the next game, 5-2 Shoe Name versus the 5-2 TaylorMade Kittle Dick. This one actually was probably the best game ever. Just massive points. TaylorMade wins 86.2. That wasn't a joke. He won with 86.2 to 175.4. 86.2. We all picked Matt, so we lost.
Yep.
But really, in all honesty, anyone that was tracking the scoring of this game, we all lost because this was about as fun as watching paint fucking dry.
Yeah,
So.
this is true. This is very true.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, nailed it. 86.2. And this fucking guy left like 45 points on the bench. Take John Brown out of there, 3.1, but Mike Williams, 21. Hines, 21.2. So he could have won with even higher, but look at all the single digits, and he still won with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert won him this game.
Yeah. All I'm going to say on this one is, Clint, you won with 86 points, and just like your season, you've had the lowest amount of points scored against you. So I'm going to hate on you for a little bit. And I'm also going to say that you keep throwing up 86s, and now without George Kittle, bro, you falling from the top, son. Falling.
And Jonathan Taylor, which I've been alluding to for weeks, is not who.
Yeah, and Zeke's going to struggle anytime now that the Cowboys, dude, whatever, we'll touch on them later, but they should be playing Cooper Rush, but whatever. Zeke's going to struggle no matter what with that line and with that quarterback. So you're in trouble, bro. You're in big trouble.
Yeah, maybe I'll have him fall out of the playoffs. So this week, Joe was 2-4. I was 3-3. Marshall was 4-2. Overall, Joe 25-23. David 30-18. Marshall 11-13. Come on, baby, we're about to get positive.
Getting up to them 500, baby.
And then Mark was 4-2. Kilo 10-8, and Matt was 2-4. And I know Matt can do better than that.
Yes,
so
sir.
we gotta have Matt on here
back on the show
to get him over 500. We got to get our stats up, in case this motherfucker go viral.
Like 2-4. Get off the internet.
Let's see. Okay, moving into week 9. Yeah, week 9. Let me change this up for a second. There we go. Can you guys see that? All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Moving into week 9, we have the 4-4 Swear at Me versus the 3-5 Baby Shark. What do you guys got?
This one's your matchup, dog. I'll let you take it.
All right. I got Tom winning 111 to 102. I do like Cousins versus Detroit. AP, I basically have to play him, and he's a fucking mad, bro. I mean, it doesn't get more mad than that.
Mm-hmm.
Banking on Carson not playing. I have Hyde and DJ Dallas, so fuck it. And if he doesn't play, I like both options.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, especially against a number 32 run defense. I do like Tyreek versus number 30 defense. I like Claypool at Dallas, number 31 defense. I talked about this earlier about dropping Jasicki for Burton. I do like Burton for the targets, and he is getting utilized quite a bit there. For this game specifically, though, it is a meh for me. If he gets targets, I think he should get points, more points than Jasicki was getting, and that's all I give a fuck about, baby. I did pick up Randall Cobb. I was eyeballing Randall Cobb, especially with the Fuller. Oh shit, what I do with
Trade
the Fuller
rumors.
trade rumors, but obviously that didn't pan out. But even with it not panning out, you look at Cobb's numbers, and he gets about 10 a game. He's basically a African American version of Cole Beasley, so we're gonna take it.
Yeah.
And then Ravens versus Indy, that's kind of a meh for me. And I do like Prater. On the flip side, Jackson is, dude, I don't fucking know. He's not a go for me. But really, he can't be a no for me either. So he's a meh. Against number 8 defense. I put in the run stat because he's a running back. Number 10 running defense. I do like Jacobs. I don't think he's gonna play Bell. I think he's gonna play Robinson. Either way, I'm not like a huge fan of either matchup, and also both running backs I'm not really a fan of. I put him having DJ Chark. I do like that matchup versus Houston, number 28 defense, number 25 coverage. That's an over and under of 50.5, and Houston's supposed to be winning, so by 7, so they're gonna throw the ball. I do like Juju at Dallas. Same thing I said for Claypool. I'm a meh on Cook at Tampa Bay, number 2 defense, number 4 coverage. I'm not sure what he's going to do for flex, but I would assume he would either play Bell or James White. Well, that's really all he can play. And either way, it's kind of a meh for me. I don't like the Saints defense versus Tampa Bay. That's the number 12 defense versus number 7 offense. And I do think Carlson will probably not hit his projection, but get close to. But I do have Tom winning 111 to 102.
Yeah. On this one here, I just, like I said, I'm only going to touch some quick ones, but I put a note down for RBs for you right now. I mean, they got potential because it's Minnesota and Buffalo, but obviously when you can't play your big dogs this week, I think that's going to hurt. So with that said, I got running backs down for you. And on Tom's side, I just put matchups in general. First thing when I saw Kupp and Fulgham out, those have been 2 hot hitters for him. And I said, man, this is going to hurt. But obviously he's going to slide Juju up to wide receiver. If you scroll down, he's probably going to put either, it's going to be Chark. It's got to be Chark. Up as other wide receiver, so you better hope that he's healthy because Edelman is not. He's on the IR, but he'll play Robinson, and I think he's going to put James White in as well. And I just, like I said, if you look at the matchups, it's Dallas, Chargers, Jets. So yeah, he's got just favorable matchups this week. And on this one here, I just, like I said, I think I got you making them playoffs this week, though. I just think Tom's matchups are going to be too hard to overcome, but you never know. You guys are both projected down the 80s right now. I mean, I'm sure Tom's will go up to like 100, but I got 99 to 90, Tom by 9.
The one thing, sorry, before you go, Marshall, the one thing I will say that gives me high hopes about my team is, so like and maybe I'm swaying Marshall here. I don't know. Probably not, because I would pick Tom if I was him. But the one thing with AP is he does, like you said, have an advantageous matchup. Yeah. But I think whether I play Hyde or Dallas, if Carson is out, Hill and Claypool and Cousins can all fucking pop off. And that's what I need. Like, you know, if they have like their mediocre games or their like average games, I'm going to lose. But I need them to fucking snap. So,
and I will say with the Burton thing too, is I looked at Burton as well, because I'm going to need a tight end coming up. And I don't know. I'm sure you guys have all noticed this, especially if you picked them up, but they're utilizing them in the run game at the goal line as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, you know, as an H-back. So,
and they have said before, the coach said that they're going to continue doing that.
Yeah. We haven't seen that in the NFL, and it's been a good, like 5 or 6 years where H-backs were actually getting runs. They tried it with Witten years ago too in Dallas. I like it. I think it's a good idea down at the goal line. You bring in your jumbo package and you run an H-back. It's easy. And you know, Trey Burton's athletic as shit too, so I like it. But
yeah, I mean, you guys touched on all the points, obviously, but I think it's going to be low scoring. But I think I don't know. The check marks go to Tom. Matchups, I think, go to Tom. But there's 2 things I'm looking at right now, and that's Juju and Claypool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pittsburgh is going to have a heyday against Dallas, and it's all going to depend on where Big Ben throws, man. If he's going to go deep, he's going to go Claypool, and that's going to help you out. And Tyreek Hill, I think he's going to hit projection pretty easy. And the bad part with Tom is he's going to play Robinson and he's going to play Chark. So one of those 2 is going to pop off. I don't think both of them do against Houston. But Houston's D is garbage, and it could come out to a shootout. I don't know. I think this is a really up in the air, even though the projections are way split. I think it could go either way. But I'll take Tom 108 to Dave's 105.
Yeah, I think Dave's just got more potential for home run guys, you know, that can really just go bananas.
Yeah, the one that I did, this is going to sound kind of weird. The one thing I did say I was up on Chark. The only reason I said I didn't really like Robinson's matchup was not because of who he's playing, is because they have a backup quarterback, and I think that they're not going to score a lot and they're going to be down. So I think that they're going to have to throw a lot. So that's why I was high on Chark, not high on Robinson. So moving on to the next game, 5-3 consent not required versus the 3-5 Eskimos brothers.
All right. So this week, I mean, if you look at my bench, I'm in a spot this week, but nothing too major. But Henry Ruggs is just not getting the targets. Latavius Murray, you want to scroll down, Dave?
I'm sorry.
Latavius Murray's been hit and miss. Chubb still IR, and Hunt's on there. They got their bye week. I did pick up Kenyon Drake, knowing that he's going to be out for a few more weeks. Lazard, I think, is a week early yet. I don't think he's going to play this week. But with that said, I just had to put guys in, so I had to go out and pick up McKissick. Just for the fact that last week they were able to pound with Gibson, and they're probably going to do it again. But the Giants' offense is kind of sneaky good sometimes, and they're starting to get rolling. That he's getting weapons back, so maybe there will be a passing game going, and McKissick will catch some. That's my hope, is he's going to catch some passes out of the backfield here. But with that said, I actually watched. Well, we all know how Dallas' defense is everywhere, and I know that Big Ben's going to have a decent game, but it can easily get counterbalanced by James Conner this week. Yeah. I think that Conner is actually gonna have a really nice game, probably 120 and a touch. I mean, dude, Boston Scott was making him look horrible. So I'm actually liking last week. I'm actually liking the pass defense a little bit better than the run defense, even though Van Der Esch and Lee are back. We're missing the up front run stoppers. But again, I'm a little conflicted because, dude, Pittsburgh's receivers are fucking monstrous size, you know, and we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. But I'm still going myself by 2, just for the fact that I got Patty Mahomes, I got Kelsey. Michael Thomas is still up in the air, so I'm going to do something there. But that's why I put him on my flex, because I had to put in Latavius Murray on Sunday night game. So if I had to play Murray, it's going to probably bring it down, and Mark's probably going to crush me. But this week, I just took myself by 2, 122 to 120. We'll just roll the dice and see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't. Man,
I put a note too that said I need Mahomes over. I need Mahomes like to be over Big Ben this week. That's how it's going to have to happen.
You need a 30-pointer from Mahomes, because I personally think Big Ben's going to have a big game. And he looks like he put Allen Robinson in, which he should have done last week. And I know it's Tennessee, but if you take a look at Allen Robinson's, he's been double digit and 15 plus.
Yep.
5 of the last 8 games, so he's the number 1 target there. It doesn't matter if their offense sucks or not. It's actually better for him if they get behind. But I think Allen Robinson's going to come in big for him, and he's got D-Hop back. I think they were on a bye last week. Maybe it was a week before, but regardless, I really like that wide receiver combo there.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson too.
Deontay Johnson. But, man, Juju, Deontay, and Claypool, that's a lot of ball to spread around. So it all depends on what receiver he picks. But I think Big Ben, hopefully he can get that stack going. I think it's going to be a close game because I'm not a fan of McKissick and I'm not a fan of Sterling Shepard at Washington. And then Michael Thomas, obviously questionable, and that's at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be a no-go this week. We'll see.
Yeah, so you got some tough stuff going on there. I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be relatively low. So I'm going to go 116 to 114 big brain.
Yeah, I went under projection on that one as well too. I think we're gonna miss, with some other players, but
right.
Oh shit, I wrote the wrong name. I think you guys are going to be right at projection personally. I do have Joe 131 to 127. Obviously, I like Mahomes. I do not like McKissick. I do think Connor's going to have a good game against number 29 run defense. I like Jefferson. Shepard is also a meh for me. I think that's a tough matchup. Kelsey, I do like. Like Joe said, Thomas is probably a no-go. And personally, I mean, you do whatever you want, but I would put Ruggs in instead of Murray.
I like Ruggs too, but dude, he's not getting the targets for some odd reason.
But he's not getting the targets, but you have Murray as a backup going against the number 2 defense. Yeah. So I would rather take the ceiling, honestly, in your flex spot. That's right what the flex spot was created for. I do like the Bucks against New Orleans. I think they're going to do well. And then on the flip side, I do think that Roethlisberger have a good game. Montgomery, I'm not super high on Montgomery. I mean, he gets his usage, but he's kind of a man for me. Justin Jackson, I think, will have a good game against number 32 defense. Hopkins is obviously always a go. I really like Robinson, always have. Andrews is kind of, I don't know. I think he's going to not really have a great game. I don't think he's going to hit 11.7. Deontay, obviously, if this motherfucker can stay healthy, I think he'll have a good game. Washington versus the Giants, that's number 7 defense versus number 29 offense. And that's where I'm at. I think both the kickers will have around their projection. So I got Joe 131 to 127. Moving on, you have the 5-3 shoe name versus the 2-6 CallOfJeudy.
I'll take this one here, fellas. So I'm usually not hyped up like on projections, but this one here, they're not far off, dude. Matt's team, we talked about this. Like, he's got Jamal Williams, he's gonna be out. Malcolm Brown on a bye. Aaron Jones is questionable, probably not playing. Eckler's hurt. He's got Devontae Freeman and no other running back. So
Yeah.
He's got to do something, man. He needs something. And then we did talk about Miami's defense being weak, but they're physical. So we'll see how they do against Kyler Murray. I look at Sean's team this week and Stafford against Minnesota. Derrick Henry's been grinding pretty decent. He might not get 20-ish his average, but he'll be close. David Johnson's got a good matchup against Jacksonville. Jeudy and Fant against Atlanta, and Drew Lock starting to throw the ball. I'm still not high on Jeudy. He does have Robbie Anderson against Kansas City in a shootout, but either way, I don't think he's losing there. It's Atlanta's defense, you know. For me, all I put down was literally Sean's matchups are too good, and Matt's running back situation is a fucking mess right now. So I've got Sean by 14, and I've got it 112 to 98.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about Jeudy is Tim Patrick is inactive, so he's not going to be playing. So that cuts down. I mean, that should give him more targets. But yeah, I haven't been high on him either. But Matthew Stafford, I think, is going to have a heyday. Then you got, I don't know, Marquise Brown, David Johnson. If you look at the matchups, they're all not cakewalks for the W, but high scoring points, advantageous, whatever the fuck you say, Dave, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know, man. The only ones I'm high on are Stephon Diggs on Matt's team against Seattle.
Yeah.
And maybe Brandon Cooks, but I would take. I
love Waller too.
Who'd you pick up, Dave? Wide receiver.
Oh, he took Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb, there you go. I would take Cobb over Cooks. I mean, if you're talking in that offense, I would take Cobb over Cooks. Yeah. That's just not it. So,
and just off the last 3 games, I think Sean needs to do something about that defense. Chargers have given up. They had a 17-point lead and they gave it up every time. I mean, and then it's the Raiders that have actually been playing pretty well, dude. He needs to do something there.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah, the projections are off. I think it's going to be like a 122 Sean to 115 Matt.
What were your numbers again, Joe?
I said 112 to 98.
Okay. Ironically enough, I get to follow Marshall. As you said, I think the projections are off because I literally have these guys at projection.
Nice,
I have Sean winning 117 to 101. Basically everything that you guys alluded to. I don't like Matt. He has to put in Freeman. I'm not even high on Freeman. I do think Murray's going to have a good game. He has to pray to God that Jones is going to play. Spoiler alert, probably not going to happen. Diggs obviously good, Cooks good. I do agree with Marshall. I would rather have Cobb just because Cooks is like he's like the Marvin Jones of that team. He's gonna get you 5 points or he's gonna get you 500 points. I like Waller. Cooper I'm not low on Cooper because of his talent. Obviously he's amazing, but that's just struggling and they're playing a tough defense. I am low on the Bills. On the flip side, Stafford's a plus. Henry, I don't think he's going to snap off against the Bears, but I think he's going to have a decent game. David Johnson, I like. I like his original setup of Robbie Anderson versus Kansas City.
Yeah,
I'm not high on Anderson at Kansas City, but I'm higher on him than I am Marquise Brown. I would much rather have my quarterback have 2 gloves and be able to actually pass it to me. Jeudy, I do like. Noah Fant, I do like. I really like McKinnon versus Green Bay. And obviously the Chargers, I don't understand. I think that might be rostered in 0.1% leagues in the world, and Sean's the 0.1%. So, yeah, I got 117 to 101.
I think the Cooper thing is going to come to it's going to come up this week. So like if you look at like last week, they played Ben DiNucci. I think he threw 2 or 3 targets for the game, and they all came in the fourth quarter to Amari Cooper. This week, the talk is that Garrett Gilbert, he's a fucking nobody. He's appeared in like a couple games. He's 2 for 6 for 40 yards.
His parents love him. He's not.
Well, he's splitting reps with. They said he's splitting reps. I just looked it up with Cooper Rush this week. I don't think they're going to be able to get Cooper Rush in this week because it's a little fast, and there is a few different changes to the offense. If they can get Cooper Rush in, at least Amari Cooper's numbers go up a little bit. You know, I mean, at least maybe towards projection. But otherwise, I think he's missing that one big time this week. Garrett Gilbert. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
It's goated.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next game, 6-2 TaylorMade Kittle Dick versus 5-3 Fournettecated.
All right.
Huge matchup.
Yeah,
Huge matchup. Huge.
And I love all my matchups, not just because of green checks, but listen, Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller coming off of a bye, rested up. They got that mind right against Jacksonville. I think they're going to have a big day. I love that stack. Dalvin Cook and DK Metcalf obviously went out of this world for me last week. They're going to come back down, but I think they're going to be about projection. I like both of them. They're both big hitters for me. Leonard Fournette against New Orleans, not high on, but he has been getting a lot of catches. He's their catching running back. And after Rojo fumbled that ball in the first quarter, it was all Leonard Fournette. So who knows what they're going to do for opportunities for that kid. But so that's where I'm at on Fournette. Devontae Parker, actually, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to put Will Fuller in there, and I'm actually going to put Philip Lindsay up in my
play.
Yep, I was going to tell you that too. Nice.
Philip Lindsay, man, this guy, he's quietly just popping off runs. He had 6 for 83 against the Chargers and a touchdown. Yeah. And then the week before, 9 for 80. So he's getting more than 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon's getting stuffed. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start, over Melvin Gordon. So I really like Lindsay here against Atlanta. And then Jimmy Graham's a meh. And I went and picked up Patriots D just because it's the Jets. So, and Harrison Buckner, obviously Kansas City, always like him going forward. The other side, man, I don't see a whole lot. Tyler Lockett could have a good game, but
I ain't scared.
Nico Elliott's been struggling, and against Pitt, I hate that. Jordan Reed looks like he's on the IR, so he's going to do something different there. And then Antonio Brown, not a fan. You have no idea what kind of, if they're going to actually pass it to him, how many snaps he's going to play. It could be on a snap count. So I like my matchups a lot better than Kittle Dick. And I think I'm going to win 140 to 128.
Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, man.
Okay. I got Marshall winning 136 to 117. I do like Herbert. Zeke is kind of like what Joe said before, that, he's supposed to put the team on his back. And that's a lot of team because everyone's struggling right now. I do like Swift at Minnesota. Lockett, that's a good matchup. I like him. Probably snap off for like 2,000 points. Williams, I do like him. He's not going to play Jordan Reed. He's going to play Ian Thomas, which is not a good matchup. And Antonio Brown is on a snap count. They came out and said that he's going to get 10 to 30 snaps. So for people that don't know how many snaps you get normally in a game, he's basically going to be on there less than half of the game. So,
yeah.
And then I don't like the Colts versus Baltimore. Watson, I love that. Cook, love that. Fournette is a man for me just because he is behind Rojo, but I do agree with Marshall. The only bad thing is they are going against number 4 run defense. Like Metcalf, like Fuller. I like the play that you said, moving Lindsay in there. I do actually like Graham against Tennessee. I'm kind of meh on the Bears, not for the pure fact that they're not a good defense, because obviously they are, but they are going against the number 2 offense. So I
Bears,
think that. What's that?
who'd you say the Bears defense?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have the Bears defense. You moved them. Oh, that's right. You.
Picked up the Pats.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did pick up
well.
the Pats. Sorry. I do this stuff like a day ahead of time. So I do like the Pats actually then against the Jets. Thank you for correcting me. And then Buckner is Buckner. So but I do have Marshall winning 136 to 117, regardless of what defense he plays.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got some illustrations on this one because I just took the time to draw a little bit. I'm such a good artist.
Are you fucking me right now?
No, go ahead, man. Let's see some cameras here. Just sharing the screen. I got this.
You want me to unshare my screen?
Yep, unshare the screen. So all I'm gonna say about this one is can you guys see this?
No.
No, you're killing me here.
It's washed out. It said no something. It's washed out. Hold it closer.
Oh, yeah. This says I can't even see my screen right now, but it says no Kittle, no Dick. And then on the back, I wrote 6-inch Marshall for 6 in a row.
Woo!
Is going in Clint's booty hole. Now, so all I'm gonna say here is Clint's matchups, bro. And listen, the AB thing I actually commended because I think Clint is conceding the loss here. I think Clint's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna lose. I need to try something." Because maybe
is he really? Because he picked up 2 tight ends this week.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm just thinking maybe they're gonna do something crazy with Antonio Brown and try and really force it to him, for a quarter or two. Who knows? Maybe utilize that new weapon. I think it's a dream, but there's just no good.
That's the same dream I'm trying to live on.
Yeah, right. The only good thing for Clint right now is I actually like Swift against Minnesota. I like Lockett, and Mike Williams has been hot, bro. He's got a nice little combo with Williams Herbert. But dude, the other side, come on now. Patriots is a good pickup. You're gonna do exactly what I was gonna tell you to do. Parker's getting the bench because Tua's trash right now.
Yep.
It's a good move. Dalvin Cook looks healthy as shit. Fournette might be getting into some good graces here. So I've got Marshall by 14, 130 to 116. And I don't care about the green check mark. I actually love Deshaun Watson this week against Jacksonville. But
yeah, baby.
14.
Okay. 130 to what?
130 to 116.
Oh yeah, you did say 14.
Yep.
Okay. I will reshare my
sorry, you
screen.
can go back to sharing. Sorry, bro.
No, you're fine, bro. You're fine. Well, kind of. Moving on to the next game, the 5-3 Dagger time. I forgot. Remember, there was a time where there was a name issue. 5-3 Dagger time versus 2-6 Kilos Gary.
Oh man. Oh man.
Dagger
These boys
time.
are going at it this week. I'll take over right away here. All I wrote was Kilo by 4. If you scroll down to Brandon's side, again, I know Tom Brady's been hot, but I like Aaron Rodgers this week. I think that's the move for me. But this one here, boys, I think is going to be a fucking shootout. I got this as my game of the week. They've all got potential for high. Well, sneakily enough, watch Kamara. I think Kamara is actually going to have a good game against Tampa Bay. I think Drew Brees is going to struggle against Tampa Bay, hitting them wideouts this week. So if you look at Drew Brees, he actually averages, I think he's one of the lowest on pass attempt yardage this year. And so everything's been short to at least to his wide receivers. Sorry, not in general, but to his wideouts. And Tampa Bay loves pressing up front and doing quick, 5-yard, 10-yard play the zone over the top. So I think his wide receivers are going to struggle just like last week, and Kamara is going to reap the benefits. So Kamara's going to have a nice game. Harris is going to have a nice week, 2 weeks in a row because he's playing the Jets, and they're going to quit doing this Cam Newton bullshit because he's coughing the damn ball up all the time. Devontae Adams rolling. Hardman's going to have a touchdown. Gronk's going to have another touchdown.
Yeah.
Not high on Rojo this week, but it is what it is. But either way, I've got Kilo by 4. I've got 136, 132. And McCaffrey's playing this week. That's the talk. So
I said he practiced in full pads.
Yep. Yep. So that's gonna help. That's gonna help Brandon quite a bit. This one it's a toss up for me, but I'm just gonna go pick against Brandon because it's Brandon. So Kilo by 4.
Yeah. Honest, I'm gonna pick Kilo too, but I'm gonna pick on Brandon's team here. I'm actually not high on Tom Brady this week, but I'm also not high on Rodgers. If you look back week 1 against New Orleans, Tom Brady had 24 points. And Joe, you said he was hot, but really, he's just had those 2 monster games where he had 41 and 44 points. Other than that, it's been 10, 16, 18. Even against the Giants, he only had 22. So,
Are you
I think he probably,
TB? You talking about Tom?
yeah, Tom Brady. Yep.
Yep.
So I think he probably stays pretty low even against New Orleans, even with AB being put in there. I don't see him going off by any means. So that's my thought on Tom Brady. Now, obviously, I think Todd Gurley's gonna have a big game against Denver. Julio Jones, Brandon. How the fuck you say his last name? They got a quarterback at San Fran. I don't know what's going to happen. Ayukin. Marvin Jones, I think, is going to have a big day. And Cardinals D, I think, is probably going to hit projection. Christian McCaffrey is a question mark, man. I know he's practicing full and all that, but I don't know. He's coming off of IR. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on a snap count.
What's Jonnu Smith's outcome this week?
Dog shit.
Is he gonna play?
Who cares? He sucks.
Yeah, but dude, he's got to go in over Tanyan. I'm sorry.
No way.
All right, bro. We'll find out.
Yeah, man. Cole Beasley, I would play.
I love Bees, man.
I would play Beasley over Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
I have that written on my fucking thing.
Yeah, Beasley needs to get in that lineup, bro.
He's decent.
I mean,
yeah. Go ahead. Finish your shit. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to touch on Brandon's because I think he's going to have some duds there. So I think Kilo's going to rock this, a 135 to 125. He just got some good matchups. Josh Allen can get back to that 40-point form easily against Seattle. Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams, they can all have massive games. So McCole Hardman, I had him, dropped him. He could have a TD. You never know. So should be a good.
I got Allen as a meh in his matchup. I like Kamara. I do like Rojo in the sense of he's gonna get his projection. He'll get 11.9, but I'm not saying he's gonna fucking snap off. Adams I like. Hardman is a meh for me. You never know what's gonna happen, and honestly, I don't know why, but I always feel super nervous about wide receivers that also are punt returners and kickoff returners. Like, shit fucking makes me nervous. They're fucking tired. Like, god damn it, you have me running all over the fucking field. Anyway, I like Gronk. I do like Harris. Packers defense is meh as fuck. And I do like Lutz. I like Brady. I also agree with Joe. I like Rodgers more. Gurley is a meh. That's going against number 2 run defense. If McCaffrey plays, he's still a meh for me. High ceiling, but probably low snap count. So I do like Jones. Ayukin, I do like him. I do like Tanyan more than Jonnu Smith, but that their points are going to be replicated to Matt's game last week, where it's going to be like super low. So if you convert that to tight end points, like Tanyan's probably going to have like 3 and Jonnu Smith's going to have like 1.9. So I would like Beasley more than Marvin Jones. So just to toss it out here, so I have Kilo winning 139 to 122. I think if he plays Beasley, it's going to be 139 to like 135.
Nice.
That's just my opinion.
Yep.
But yeah. Moving on to the very last game. We have 4-4 no fear versus 4-4 uncircumcised Chubb.
I'll go. I'll go ahead, Marshall. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Listen, uncircumcised has majority of the check marks, but man, Fier's gonna pull this one off. You got the should be MVP quarterback Russell Wilson. I think he's gonna put up points no matter what. And you got Clyde Edwards, who I know has been kind of duddy the last few games, but
That is a top tier word, duddy.
Duddy, baby.
Been duddy. He has been though. I mean, but listen, they're gonna give him the touches. They're gonna give him the carries, even though Lev Bell's in there. Clyde's their guy. So P. Ryan, I'm not real big on against New England's D. Keenan Allen, I'm big on. I think he's gonna have a real good game, and same with Mike Evans. So yeah, I'm gonna go no fear, and let's go. It's gonna be right around projection. I'm gonna go 120 to 110.
Okay. So let me get this pulled up too.
Very similar to my score.
So I'm going on the flyer on this one, boys. I think the Seattle Buffalo game is going. I mean, listen, it's got potential to be just a fucking blowout because Seattle's good, but I think Buffalo's going to get up at home this weekend, and we're going to keep this game in the 20s. And I do think that Seattle's going to run the football, even if it's Hyde, even if it's Dallas. I think against Buffalo's horrible run defense, I think it's going to be a lot more game clock being burned up by Seattle on drives. So I got a feeling that Russell Wilson's not throwing up a 40-pointer. I got him around the high 20s. Edwards-Helaire, yeah. Lev Bell starting to eat into a little bit of his touches. Perrine, I do not like that at all. Perrine, the dude playing against New England's defense.
You guys see this invite? I just got invited to play Fortnite.
Sorry, and that offense is horrible. Keenan Allen I like, but Mike Williams is starting to be the next man up because Keenan Allen's attracting all double teams. So now that Mike Williams is healthy again, it's looking good with Herbert. So on this one here, if you look at Johnny O's side real quick, Teddy Bridgewater is going to have no choice but to throw the football to keep up with Kansas City. Gibson's playing against the Giants run defense. Sometimes they get up, sometimes they don't. But Gibson, I got maybe around 80 yards and a touch. Hasty against Green Bay's run defense. We saw what they did last week. They're susceptible to a big game here.
What are you talking about? They're good.
Yeah, they're goated. McLaurin's good. AJ Brown's been on fire. Ingram's starting to play better. Steelers are gonna annihilate Dallas. So I've got Johnny keeping his streak going by 121 to 120.
Well, I do like the pure fact that we're all around the same. 120 to 110, 121 to 120. I picked JR 122 to 112.
Nice.
I do like Wilson. I like Helaire. P. Ryan is a no for me. I like Allen. I like Evans. I like Ebron, and I like Thielen. Chiefs defense is kind of a meh to me. On the other side, Chubb's matchups are not like super advantageous. Like he has Bridgewater, who's kind of meh. I mean, it's like when you are really hungry and you don't want to order food, so you just make ramen noodles. It's just like
Bridgewater.
Yeah, it's just like the ramen noodles is all right, but
kind of
it's
like
not,
tap water.
Yeah, it's like no tap water.
Tap water
is Cam Newton dog shit.
I mean, sorry to interrupt, Dave, but if you look at Bridgewater, one game this week he's had over 25 points, and that was when he got a 30 against Arizona.
Yeah, and he's going against Kansas City at Kansas City. This number 14 defense.
Yep.
Gibson is a man for me. I think he could pop off, but he's going against number 3 run defense. And actually, the Giants defense looked pretty decent last week. So I do like Edmonds. I do like McLaurin. But after that, I don't really like Brown's matchup. I do think that he's going to do well, but he has a bad matchup. Ingram has a bad matchup as well against the Washington. And I mean, the Steelers, they have a good matchup, but
listen, Johnny O, you need to move Chase Edmonds into Antonio Gibson and put Hayden Hurst in your flex, bro. 2 tight end that shit. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No, that's not a good.
Mm-mm.
That's not a good play.
Telling you.
If John does that, I project him under 100 points.
Get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
And I think Steelers are going for around 18 to 20 this week.
Yeah. So.
And I love
Yes,
I
do.
love Blankenship playing against Baltimore's defense too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one will be close. I just like JR's matchups more. So so we got all of that shit. Anyone got some come on mans?
I do have some come on, man. Do you guys got any?
I don't. I'm a shitbag, sorry.
Okay. Well, we'll go over a couple come on mans here. So the obvious, Cam Newton fumbles the football down in the red zone with like 30 seconds to go in the game. Anymore, I can't even come on, man. This is typical. I mean, Cam Newton is fucking horrible. But hey, hit him with it. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I want to do a quick come on, man, to Jimmy G. Jimmy G's paid all this money.
Jimmy Grandpa?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
Jimmy Pornstar. They traded for him, they paid him this big contract and he's back, he's healthy, doing all this good stuff, right? Listen, bro. He goes out at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Okay. Big Dick Nick Mullins comes in the fourth quarter and goes 18 to 25 with no Kittle for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. No Debo, no Kittle. What the fuck, Jimmy G, bro? You are garbage, man. Come on, man. Jimmy G gotta go.
Yeah.
And you might as well boot fucking Shanahan out with him. But then I've got we're gonna skip that one for now. Tua. Listen, Tua's probably gonna be a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to see the kid playing after that hip injury. But did anyone watch Tua's first drop back?
What, he trip?
No, he was going against the Rams. So hello, Aaron Donald.
Oh, yeah.
First drop back for a pass. Here's Aaron Donald, strip sack. He fumbles the football. So first drop back for a pass. This dude's get a fumble. Come on, man. You can't start it off like that. And I've also got, let me see if I can read my own fucking writing here. Nope, I can't read that one. So we're going to skip that one. Yeah. I don't know what the hell that one says. Dave, you could edit this, but I'm gonna try and read that real quick.
No editing.
All right. So we're just gonna go down to this last one here because this one's amazing. So Gardner Johnson from the Saints, right? You guys saw this. Marshall, I know you saw this.
Oh, fuck.
So in case you guys didn't know, he is also the guy that Michael Thomas punched in the face during practice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's juicy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share with you guys that Wims hit him with the 1-2, right? He ripped out his mouthpiece and then 1-2'd him. Well, actually he hit him with a right, and then he turned and looked at him like, "What are you doing, bro?" And then he hit him again, which is hilarious because Wims must be a little bitch and he's hitting a helmet, which is stupid. But the best part about this come on, man, isn't even the fight. It's the fact that Gardner Johnson has been hit in the face this season as many times as these running backs have touchdowns. Taylor, Sanders, Mixon, David Johnson, Kareem Hunt, and Chris Carson all have 3 rushing touchdowns. Johnson's been hit in the face that many times. This is more than Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson, Zach Moss, Gaskins, and Fournette even have as touchdowns this year. So this dude is doing something out there. I know he says he spit in his face. No one saw it. I didn't see that. But either way, they do say he is an antagonizing little bastard. You get your own teammate to punch you in the face. But either way, this dude's just got a face worth punching. So come on, man. Keep your mouth shut next time.
Like 4 plays before that, he walked up to him, ripped his mouth guard out, and supposedly spit on him.
Oh, I do have my last come on, man. So speaking of punching, did anyone see the little scrum between the Ravens and the Steelers? So
yeah, I did, but I don't remember it. I remember seeing
I
it.
believe it's pronounced Judon from the Ravens, Judon.
Oh yeah.
So he's getting there's a ref in between him and some other players, and it's a big pile. Anyway, well, he didn't realize it was one of his assistant coaches or trainer guys or strength guys, whoever is trying to hold him back from behind. So he's got his arms wrapped around him. So his natural instinct is to whip his right arm around and like, get off of me. And he's real lucky it didn't hit the ref in the face, but it did hit the ref in the forearm, and he punched his forearm and got ejected from the game. So yeah, out here just swinging, hits his own ref, or hits a ref and gets the boot, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Other than that, boys, that's all I got. The other one I can't read, so I'll catch it next week.
All right, boys. So this was week 9. I'm host David Molly, host Joe Stevenson, and honorary host Marshall Nicolay. Thanks, everyone.
Deuces.
Good luck this